in your minds and your experience as a committee of this House, and have given this House a report that we can be proud of. Mr. Speaker, I want to appreciate His Excellency the President, William Ruto, for giving us an opportunity to serve in his cabinet. I'm saying us, those of us from the marginalized communities, those of us from those ASAL areas. What we need, Mr. Speaker, is opportunities of this nature. To be able to show our ability, to be able to serve as Kenyans and portray the regional balance, portray the diversity of the Republic of Kenya in the service of the country. Mr. Speaker, I know Beatrice Askul, and the Turkana Nation, Mr. Speaker, is proud and are very grateful to His Excellency for the opportunity he has accorded one of our daughters to be part of the cabinet serving this country. She has exemplified level-headedness, Mr. Speaker. She has served in various capacities, including being among the initial CECs of the county government of Turkana, and she served honorably. And so, Mr. Speaker, it is an opportunity that we want to say thank you to His Excellency as the appointing authority, but I will not want to stop before I say thank you to the former Prime Minister, Honorable Raila Odinga, for having tapped and seen the ability that Beatrice Askul has shown. And so I want to say thank you and wish them well as they serve this country. Thank you.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi niweze kuchukua fursa hii kuweza kupongeza hawa wanawake wawili ambao wameweza kuteuliwa katika nyanja mbalimbali. Mheshimiwa Spika, niweze kusema kuwa Kenya ilikuwa imeenda sehemu mbaya, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na nachukua pia fursa hii kumpongeza Rais wa taifa hili Mheshimiwa William Samoei Ruto kuweza kuleta uwiano katika taifa, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na hii imekuwa sababu ya sisi kupata wanawake wazuri shupavu ambao wana uweledi wa kazi, ambao ni maono ya wanawake katika Kenya nzima, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na pia tukizingatia zile thuluthi tatu ambao tulikuwa tunatafuta kama kina mama, mimi na hakika kuwa hawa kina mama, Mheshimiwa Beatrice na Mheshimiwa Dorcas, watafanya kazi zao kulingana na katiba, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na sisi tunasema palipo na uongozi wa kina mama hata maji huwa yanapanda mlima, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hiyo nachukua fursa hii kuwapongeza hasa ile kamati ambayo iliweza kuwateua, ile kamati ambayo iliweza kuwapitisha, Mheshimiwa Spika, na nipende kukushukuru sana. Niliweza kufuatilia kwa kina na nikushukuru Mheshimiwa Spika, vile ulivyokuwa unapeleka mambo hayo, ulikuwa unapeleka kwa uweledi sana, na hukuangalia hivi ama vile uliangalia ule msimamo ambao wale walikuwa nao na mkowapitisha, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hiyo mimi naombea dada zangu, nawaambia mshike kasi, mjenge taifa, msiweze kulemea upande mmoja, mfuate sheria ili tuone uongozi wa kina wanawake unaleta mabadiliko katika taifa. Na Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi naombea Mungu awaweze kuwapa nguvu na gari ya kuweza kufanya kazi bila kuangalia huku na kule. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika.
David Ocheng.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I followed the proceedings of this vetting, and I can tell you, because you don't watch yourself, your committee enjoyed this vetting these two ladies compared to what we saw the other week, because these two ladies were grace, candor, honesty, heartfelt answers. We watched them and we believe, Mr. Speaker, that these were right nominations. Mr. Speaker, since when I was 17, the first election, every candidate for president talks about Singapore and South Korea and Malaysia. I heard that year, President Moi himself, Baba Raila Odinga was a candidate at that time, and they were saying, we want to build a South Korea. I had the same stories in 02 between Kibaki and Uhuru Kenyatta. I had the same stories last election between Honorable Raila Odinga and William Ruto, who is now the president. That they want to build a Singapore. So, Speaker, the biggest secret, the distinguishing feature of South Korea, Singapore, Malaysia, has never been the roads they built, not the planes they built, but the energy they put in their character and meritocracy in how government is run. I believe these two ladies, Mr. Speaker, epitomize what public service should look like. And I believe, Mr. Speaker, that in future, if we go this way, then this country can do well. I only hope and pray, because the cabinet is the foremost advisor of the president. The AG is also a foremost advisor of the president for legal affairs. I only pray and hope that other people will not be allowed to come between the advice these two ladies give the president, their dockets, and the decisions that are being made, Mr. Speaker. I believe that Madam Askul can do a good job in the EAC docket, and needless to say, Madam Dorcas is the epitome of competence. Wish them well and hope that they do well for the country the way they did in the interviews.
Bensouda.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. And I would want to stand here foremost very proud of my fellow scholars who are right on track in the world of academia, where Honorable Dr. Joyce Atieno Sogo is found as an academia. Number two, Mr. Speaker, I rise to support Beatrice and Dr. Oduor for having achieved in academic standards. And that was evidence on how they presented their cases, on their publication and thorough mastery of content on what they're going to represent the Kenyans. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the two ladies, and I want it to go on record that I salute, it must be on record, His Excellency Baba Raila Amolo Odinga for the support of the female gender, for the nominee that was exhibited, that gender rule on female is quite fundamental in this country by the President, Dr. Samuel William Ruto. I want also to say that for the peace which was supposed to be maintained, even it was exhibited yesterday when Baba was in a function that President, the late Uhuru, also informed that stability was important. Electing and appointing the women creates stability in this country.
Order, Bensouda. Uhuru Kenyatta is a retired president, is not a president-elect.
Not elect. I'm saying Uhuru is retired. I'm talking on stability. Get the concept of what I'm heading to. I'm talking about stability of this nation. And so I want to say, Mr. Speaker, when this nation has started recognizing the competency of women, women of substance, women who are academicians, women who are effective, gone are the days, Mr. Speaker, where women thought that their bottom powers can make them rise to power. And we are saying that we are not on occasions where women thought that either through sex they can rise to power.
Time up. Dorothy Kiara. Take your seat.
I can't. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also want to join in this motion and commend the appointment committee for the work well done. Honorable Speaker, we are talking about nominees who have qualified to become cabinet secretary after the vetting, and who I suppose this House will have consideration and recommend them so that they can go and work for Kenya. Honorable Speaker, I have listened very passively to the speakers in this House, those who know on Beatrice very well, who has been given the docket of East African Community, and Regional Development. And Honorable Speaker, from what I'm getting and even from watching how she performed in the interview, I am convinced this is the right person for that docket. Honorable Speaker, I also listened to the nominee for Attorney General, Honorable the lady Dorcas Oduor, and Honorable Speaker, I'm convinced she is the right person. And Honorable Speaker, I want to say this very quickly. I heard Honorable Junet talking about if these women, and I want to say for record, Honorable Speaker, women, when given and accorded an opportunity, they can be able to perform much better than even the male counterparts. Honorable Speaker, I'm saying this because it's always said, what a man can do, a woman can do it better. Honorable Speaker, I am saying, in the next subsequent nominations, Honorable Speaker, I want...
Mishimbogo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir. Honorable Speaker, I stand to support this motion by the Committee of Appointment. Honorable Speaker, from the onset, I want to appreciate His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto for making an history. He has made history today, having nominated the first woman who is going to occupy the position of Attorney General in the Republic of Kenya. That is an history, and I want to say thank you. Second history is to nominate a woman from a marginalized community, the Turkana, the first woman, if approved by this House, to be a cabinet secretary in the Republic of Kenya. Thank you, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, for making history. Honorable Speaker, when we are doing vetting, it was really amazing. Dr. Dorcas Angik demonstrated knowledge, even on technical issues on the portfolio she's going to occupy. She also demonstrated the path and a roadmap from where we are and where we want to be as a country. The professional experience she has in terms of legal matters. She has worked in the judiciary and so many other areas pertaining law. Honorable Speaker, Madam Beatrice Askul is a person I know. I've been with her in the ODM. She really proved that she's going to bring some measures and strategy to help the communities in the Asal area, having been born and bred in Turkana, being part of Asal area. Honorable Speaker, I think this was the best thing which our president has really done for this country. I know now we are making progress in terms of gender mainstreaming, or rather gender balance. It's now we are feeling the gender disparity which we have been having in this country. I'm so happy that to
Bashir. Honorable Bashir.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. First and foremost, I want to appreciate the appointment committee for the thorough job that we have been doing. I watched the vetting process of these two great women during the vetting, and I can attest that you, as the chair of that committee, plus your members, you handled them very well. Coming back to the two great ladies, I want to congratulate them first for making it to the list of being nominated by His Excellency the President. These are two women who have demonstrated that they have capacity, they have knowledge, and the wherewithal to handle what awaits them. The Attorney General nominee, Ms. Dorcas Oduor, is returning back to the Attorney General chambers, having worked there before. And so she understands the role expected of her as the next Attorney General of this country, and being the first woman to also occupy that house. She has all the knowledge and the capacity, and that has been demonstrated. To Beatrice Moy, who comes from Turkana, which is also a marginalized part of this country, and coming from the pastoralist community, I want to also thank the President for nominating the first Turkana woman to be in the cabinet of this great nation of Kenya. I know that Beatrice, having worked in Turkana before, and she started from the lower level and risen to the ranks, has the capacity to perform her duties as East African Community and Regional Development. And I'm sure these two ladies will show Kenyans that they have the capacity to perform even better than most people will think. I want
Carolo Mondi.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. It gives me great pleasure to stand on behalf of Class of 90, University of Nairobi, to support the nomination of Dorcas Oduor as the Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya. Class of 90, I believe, is the most consequential class in the history of University of Nairobi. We've produced a president and many other leaders in this country. And now we are producing the first female Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya. I did join the Office of the Attorney General with Dorcas, and we have worked closely together for many years, and I have full confidence in our ability to discharge the duties of that office. I'm also very happy to reinforce what Honorable Koyo said, that Dorcas has waited a long time for this opportunity. She should have been our first DPP under the 2010 Constitution if it was not for negative politics. Most recently, we've been working together with Dorcas on establishing a framework criminal investigations law, which we do not have in this country, so as to help in fighting corruption. And hopefully very soon, I did send a request to your office, we will be able to generate a draft of a bill that will regulate criminal investigations in this country. How we train and the qualifications that we require for our investigators, how the process of investigations should be done, and how we can use forensic science and other modern investigative tools in dealing with crime. Secondly, we are also working on nationhood science as a new subject in trying to amend the curriculum so that we could actualize Article 10 of the Constitution as well as Chapter 6. These are some of the matters. I think that draft bill is already with the Budget Committee, and hopefully when she's the Attorney General, we'll be able to move these things forward. Finally, Mr. Speaker, I did request, and I wrote to you, that when an appointments committee gives us the report, it should be a little more detailed. You may recommend a candidate, but you should also give us your observations, whether you have any reservation.
Murugara. George Murugara.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, allow me also to add my voice to supporting these two nominees who are now before the House and who this House has to approve this afternoon so that they can start discharging their duties. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I sat on the Committee on Appointments, and you actually chaired that committee so well, and it did a fantastic job. We've already approved the first batch. This is the second one. Possibly there's going to be a third one, but that shows how serious that committee is, and especially the lawyers who actually went through the vetting, most of whom possibly passed through your hands. You mentored them, and they are now the leaders who have to serve the country with distinction. It goes without gainsaying that the lady Beatrice Askul actually demonstrated great knowledge of regional development, especially including ASAS, where she comes from, and mapping out Kenya as the areas that deserve to be considered as marginalized. As for Dorcas Oduor, it is well known, and we now say God's time is actually the best time. She may not have become DPP, she may not have become judge of the High Court or Court of Appeal or Supreme Court, but now she is the Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya, and she has to serve the country with a dedication and demonstration of goodwill, as she has done in the past in the areas she has served. Mine would be to congratulate them and urge them to serve this country in the best interest of everyone as Kenyans. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Asinyen, Women Rep Turkana.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to contribute to this good motion. First and foremost, Mr. Speaker, I would like to thank the vetting committee for the good job, for vetting the two great ladies and bringing them to this level. Mr. Speaker, my gratitude goes to His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto for what he has done. One, for opening up a dialogue with the rest of Kenya And now, this is the results we are discussing today, Honorable Speaker. It started as a candid conversation between him and other leaders, and now we are having new names in the cabinet, Honorable Speaker. As the Turkana people, we are very much grateful to His Excellency, Dr. William Samoei Ruto. This is the first time a Turkana woman is appearing in the Kenyan cabinet, and we want to say thank you, thank you. Without forgetting His Excellency, Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, for rewarding loyalty. Honorable Beatrice Askul has been a staunch supporter of one Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. So we want to thank him also for rewarding loyalty, Honorable Speaker. Now, at the moment, Honorable Speaker, I'm a comfortable leader because I can really see we are headed to the right direction. The country is headed to the right direction. If those marginalized communities are now part and parcel of the decision-making table, Honorable Speaker, we now feel like we are also fully fledged Kenyans. So we want His Excellency, Dr. Samoei Ruto, to continue steering the country towards that unity path so that those that have never had a chance to feel to be Kenyans can feel to be Kenyans. I want to thank
Bishop Hamala.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to support this special motion on appointment of the Cabinet Secretary and the Attorney General. I want to applaud you, Honorable Speaker, for the good work you did with the vetting committee. And Honorable Speaker, I want to say that it's a very good time for women of Kenya because the girl child in the past felt marginalized. But with these appointments, we are seeing that women are getting into their space. Sometimes it's worrying that the boy child may be getting in trouble.